Start.
Hello, I'm Vivien Leigh. I'm here for the press conference. Thank you. I just hope nobody asked me what part I played in Gone with the Wind. Well, I'm not kidding, darling. Somebody actually did that to me the other day. I didn't know whether to kill him or myself. Well, go ahead, ask. It's always hard to start. That's easy. If I were to live my life over again, there is two things I am certain. That I should play Scarlett O'Hara, and that at not much a later date, I shall marry Laurence Olivier, doing the proposing myself if necessary. Between bipolar disorder, tuberculosis, and a teetering marriage, the life of Vivien Leigh was similar to that of a roller coaster. The English beauty, best known for her starring role in Gone with the Wind, was undeniably talented and beautiful. We discover that nothing gold can stay, as we experience Leigh's ups and downs. In Vivien Leigh, The Last Press Conference by Marcy Lafferty. I first saw Larry, in a play called The Theatre Royals. Well, it was there that I decided he and I too shall become the Theatre Royals of England. I saw the play 6 times, followed by his Hamlet 16 times. Oh, darling, yes. I could use a bit of makeup before we start. Could you check the powder at my temples, please? I have a little sore there. I wouldn't want it to show for the cameras. The Mask of Virtue. My rave reviews were on the center of every newspaper. I was a smash hit. Everybody came. Everybody. Including Laurence Olivier. How do you do? My name is Vivien Leigh, and I think you're wonderful. I'm filming at Oxford, which is very hard to do because I can't seem to get my nose out of a book that's just been published in Britain. I'm in love with the heroine, with her courage and her determination. I feel as if I've known her in the flesh. I gave the book to everyone in the cast and crew as thank you presents. Oh, on closing night, they were all joking about saying that Larry would make a great Rat Butler. Oh, he's the hero. But I was quick to correct them. Larry shan't play Rat Butler. But you see now I shall play Scarlett O'Hara. Excuse me. I signed the contract on Friday the 13th, which should have given me a clue. My greatest moment? Had to be. As God is my witness, I will never go hungry again! It was certainly my truest moment. You know, we actually began filming at dawn one day and actually shot that scene at dawn the next day without a break. I pushed everybody I could, 18 hours a day, Saturday, Sundays, 20 hours sometimes. Just to hurry up and get the damn thing done. So I could go back to New York and to my darling Larry. And never have to deal with Scarlett O'Hara again. You see, it's funny. The thing I had wanted most in this whole earth had become a source of misery to me. I came to view Scarlett as the biggest snob that ever lived. And I became one too. I'm filming Bernard Shaw's Caesar and Cleopatra at this massive bombing, and I came back with a cough I can't seem to shake. You see, it was there I found out I was 3.5 months pregnant. The producer became very cross with me lest I lose my figure. Oh, so I had a fine time this morning, freezing my ass off, clad in nothing but a bit of chiffon and a whip, running up and down the Memphis Palace, beating some slave. Finally, on the 15th take, I slipped and fell heavily on the marble floor. 3 days later, I miscarried. was never to be to myself again. Fate is a sad, sad thing. 2 weeks later, they found a spot on my lung the size of a fist. From that time forward, the spectre of death was always with me. It had become a constant companion. I had tried to outrun the terrible TB. I read a streetcar named Desire in 1948. Desire. What is desire? You see, now Blanche, she says the opposite of death is desire. It is that which enslaves us. What was it like to play her? It was like being bulldozed. It was like jumping off the highboard into my dark side. There was poetry for me in Blanche's despair. But there was premonition in her madness. Vivien and Blanche were starting to merge. And of course Larry was far more concerned with how the play was to be perceived in England than with my mental state. I am so lonely for Larry. I know that my illness has driven him from me. I know that it will kill me. But I am not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of going mad. I can no longer park the crazy Vivien on the other side of the camera. All my tricks are failing me. Believe me, I struggled far, far more to stay at the top than I ever did to get there. I think the real break came for us when we were at Leigh. It was during one of my maniac bouts and we had a huge fight. He picked me up and he threw me against the wall and my head hit the rod of the bed and cracked open. But you see, I waited until he fell asleep. Went to the kitchen, grabbed a knife, and held it at his throat. All night long. How can anyone live with that? I'm in a down now and I'm going to see Dr. Konaki. Then everything will be alright. I first met him during streetcar and he's helped me very much with a little something called ECT. Yes, that's it. Electric convulsive therapy. Well, it's not so bad, really. I mean, they hook electrodes to my head which leave burn marks at my temples. But I can often cover them up with makeup and even perform that night. They restrain my wrists and my ankles so I don't hurt myself. And then they give me an injection. I don't feel a thing. You mustn't pity me. It's been a great run. The only reason I want to die is so the madness doesn't take over and I can no longer stand the pain from the tuberculosis. Every night I pray to God to give me something clean and decent like cancer. Oh, and as for Larry, well, I should have much rather lived a short life with Larry than to ever face a long one without him. We were Scarlet and Heathcliff, Caesar and Cleopatra. We truly were the Theatre Royals of England. Scarlet was the best of me. From a time when I was young and strong and healthy. She will survive me, and that makes me happy. To Scarlet, Cheers.